well, the biggest issue talked about for the special is probably school choice, and what do you see the path is for getting that across the line?
Well, the House is going to have their own path, and that's all I can worry about is what the House members want and don't want. I do feel like we can come to terms. It's going to take not just a path forward on school choice, but also on school finance.
Did Governor Patrick call for your resignation today?
Yeah, it must be Monday. Another call for my resignation from Lieutenant Governor. So good for him.
You're not going to resign?
I feel pretty good right now. I'm not going to resign, and I have full support of the Texas House. We're here to get serious policy issues taken care of for school children, teachers, school safety, and border security, and that's my commitment. Not outside noise from quite frankly, no one who has a vote in the Texas House.
How is this outside noise going to affect just the overall tenor? Obviously, it's going to take two houses to pass whatever it is going through the governor's office.
It won't. The House will produce a work product on all these subject matters, and we will send it over to the Senate, and we'll have negotiations like we always do. My members are they're great people. They're here for the right reasons, and we will be immune to the outside noise as we always are.
With some of the border bills, the governor wants to allow sheriffs and state law enforcement officers to deport illegal immigrants. And I'm wondering, it doesn't seem constitutional. So is the idea to pass something like that and try to test it with the Supreme Court? What's the goal
we
here?
will have those discussions in committee and on the House floor. I think what the Biden administration has done is a complete about face from what he promised on the campaign trail. I'm not buying the fact that he's required to spend the money on the border because of a previous appropriation. No, he knows his disastrous border policies are really impacting Democratic congressmen and senators across this country. The mayors in Chicago and New York and parts beyond are asking for help. They're experiencing what we're experiencing here in Texas, which is a failed border policy by the Biden administration. And again, Texas, since I got elected, we are now up to nearly $12 billion of taxpayer money here in Texas spent on border security. That is wrong. We deserve that money back. The federal government needs to step up and secure our southern border.
Going back to what we were discussing about vouchers as well as the Lieutenant Governor's calls for you to resign, you to reiterate that you're not going to use that at all in negotiations. It's not going to affect a path forward to vouchers.
No, I'm here to discuss real policy, not fantasy land. Calling people to resign. I didn't take $3 million from a PAC that associates themselves with Nazis and Nazi sympathizers. That's not my problem. That's someone else's problem. And so my House members who support me, we don't take money from this PAC. We don't associate ourselves with sexual deviants and misfits and folks who associate themselves with Holocaust deniers. That's not my problem. That's someone else's problem. I'm here to focus on real policy going forward, and that's outside noise. That is fantasy land, and quite frankly, there's not a House, Republican or Democrat, save maybe one or two, who feel any differently than me right now.
I think you said earlier a deal on school choice would require working in some other broader school funding stuff. How do you do that when so far it looks like the call is narrowly tailored just to do school choice and not more big funding?
Well, it's a chicken and the egg. We're going to have both. We have to have both. And we're in discussion with the governor's office on that. We're meeting 2 or 3 times a day across the House spectrum, especially with these rural Republicans who want to get comfortable with this idea. But school finance is very important to this. The governor knows that. And again, he's been working with us on an hourly basis.
Are you expecting to be able to do that with just Republican votes, or would you need Democrat votes to get that done as well?
Great question. It's 76. I wouldn't be speaker if I couldn't count to 76. But that's what matters. And I don't know. Maybe there are some Democrats who have opened that door of communication. I can't speak for them, but the details are what matters. This is a very complex issue, and Texas is a huge state. A lot of challenges in public education. I appreciate my teachers. I appreciate my administrators and all they do. We want to be mindful of that. But at the same time, I want to be mindful of the fact that a lot of members are open to the idea of doing something different in this special session.
How concerned are you about this moral rot, as you put it, within the Republican Party? Is that going to be with this party for a while, or can it be rooted out? How do you separate mainstream Republicans from that?
I've drawn a line in the sand with impeachment, and I've drawn a line in the sand with the Defend Texas Liberty Group and their PAC. I'm not budging on this. I think it is time for Republicans to understand who is funding a lot of these campaigns, where this money is coming from, and quite frankly, some of these candidates that are filing for office. There needs to be some self-reflection across the state of Texas. I ran a very successful operation last cycle and beat back a lot of these folks who came from the same political rot that you're speaking to. But this has been going on. This has been festering in the Republican Party for many, many years. But I'm proud to say the line is in the sand. You're either on this side or you're on that side.
Mr. Speaker, do you have
One more question.
Okay, maybe. So have you gotten anything from the governor's office to indicate that this is going to get more involved in mediating, talks between you and the lieutenant governor who don't even seem to be on speaking terms when you're trying to deal with big issues?
Sure. The governor's office, again, and his staff has been meeting with the bill authors on everything he's put on the call and everything he might put on the call. So we've had wonderful discussions. The governor, this is a priority for him. I have to be mindful of what the priorities are of the Texas House and my House members, and that's my job. And that's what I do here is I try to arbitrate all this, try not to put my thumb on the scale, and just understand what these 149 members want. They each represent 200,000 people, collectively over 30 million. So it's a fun job. At times it's a difficult job. I'll put it up with any job in this country as far as difficulty, but at the same time, I appreciate the gravity of the situation we're in right now. I appreciate the governor engaging, and we will work with the Senate like we always do. It's all about negotiations at this point. Thank you all. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.